Hi fellow yogis, thank you so much for joining me today for our restorative practice. Blankets, bolster, pillows, blocks, all are welcome. You might like to grab a little essential oil if you have it. This is a little mixture of clary sage and orange that I like to rub in my hands. Clary sage is really nice to rub on the soles of your feet too. Even at night, if you're having a little bit of trouble sleeping, it'll kind of help lower your stress levels. Maybe with the essential oil, if you have an eye pillow, or if you want to grab maybe a washcloth that you can dab a couple of drops on to rest over your eyes or on your forehead, maybe around your neck. Certainly not in your eyes. And then also, we will be doing child's pose, and an option is to fold over a chair, or maybe you have a couch or something that you can wander your way over to and fold over if you don't want to do a traditional child's pose or supported child's pose. So it is totally up to you. Quite a few options here. So our first shape that we are going to do today is just on our backs. And we are going to have our legs in constructive resting pose. And what that means is that the knees are going to knock towards one another. So I'm going to rest a blanket underneath my back for a little extra padding. And as a matter of fact, I might take another blanket or towel and rest it under the back of my head here. And then you're going to take your bolster or pillow actually, and we're gonna rest it on your left side just so we have it for our next shape. And then go ahead and walk the feet wide on your mat, and then let the knees come together. Now this is going to be a little bit different in everybody. Some people might like their feet up nice and close. Some people might like their feet down just a little bit farther. So just kind of experiment. But notice that you can let go of any holding around the knees. I just want the knees to be able to hold together and just really relax. And then of course I invite you to find a space on the body where the hands feel comfortable. On the belly, on the heart space, maybe you want them open and ready to receive with palms towards the ceiling. And then just start to find your breath. Coming into this mindful space, allowing the breath to settle, maybe even noticing how the breath feels. Can you breathe a little deeper on the inhale? Can you release a little longer on your exhale? Let the shoulder blades settle into your mat or your blanket. Let your tailbone relax. Notice that the fingers and the toes feel light, that there aren't any tension. There isn't any tension in these spaces. You can slowly rotate the wrists a little bit. And then relax them down if that feels good. And then moving up to around the neck, maybe rolling the head gently from side to side. Checking in on the back of the scalp. And then softening the gaze, very important, releasing any tension where the third eye is. Relaxing through the cheeks and the jawline. Letting the tongue relax. And then closing the eyes if that feels comfortable to you. Otherwise, of course, you can just gaze up at the ceiling. And just let the softness that you feel on the face move down the body. And one more time, doing a body scan, just checking for any tension, anything that might be stuck, kind of bottled up. And see if you can breathe into that space and fully let it relax and release. As you comb through your body for tension, you learn how to go beneath the surface of what you see, to connect to what you feel, to the emotions inside the sensations. When you can discern what is behind what you feel, you can practice becoming still there. Sometimes a little easier said than done. But if you know that the tension that you feel, if you know what it's caused from, see if you can add a little mantra to it. Maybe I am at peace, I release, I accept, I let go. All of those, or any of those, or maybe something else that resonates with you as you let your body soften and come into this space. Breathing in deeply and letting your exhale be nice and long. Feeling the tension melt away from the body. Giving yourself full permission to feel relaxed. To be in this space fully and intentionally. So if you haven't already placed your hands at your heart space, please go ahead and do so now if you'd like. Resting one hand on top of the other, or just simply coming into Anjali Mudra with your palms together, fingertips facing your chin. And if it feels right, set your intention for your class today. Always remembering to keep an open mind and knowing that even if your intention doesn't come to fruition in the next hour, it really can come at any time. So set no expectations for the delivery of the outcome. Just know that sending it out there and willing it is enough. And then when you're ready, go ahead and heel toe the feet back to center and bring those knees into the chest. Point and flex the toes. Find a little bit of movement again in the back of the scalp. Rocking the head gently from side to side. And then here's where your bolster or pillow comes into play that you might have placed over to the left. You're going to go ahead and draw that up pretty close to the body, about midway here. And then you're going to go ahead and roll onto your left side. And your bottom leg is going to rest on top of your mat. But your upper leg is going to stretch out and relax on top of your pillow or your bolster. And then you can take your blanket or whatever you had maybe underneath your head and just roll it up. So nice and comfortable. Your shoulder doesn't feel like it's squished. And then if you want, you can extend that bottom leg out. So two options here. You can stay kind of curled up in a nice little fetal position with the arms, or if you want to dive in a little bit deeper and find a twist, you can open up through the right arm, drawing that left rib cage to the left a little bit more, and then relaxing into your twist. And then once you find the space that feels really nice, you can close your eyes. And again, let that tension just melt away. Nowhere to be, nothing to do, nothing in particular to think about, except relaxing and releasing any tension you might feel. And what a gift that is. We spend so much of our time worrying and contemplating things, and this is just a moment, a time where we can just relax and not have to fight our thoughts or make decisions, accept what's going to make us feel more comfortable. That's not a terrible decision to have to make. So finding the breath, and with each exhale, relaxing, letting the muscles release, letting spaces open and then soften. Begin to find a little movement, perhaps rotating through the extended ankle or the ankle on the extended leg. If you're in your twist, maybe roll back into the little fetal position, drawing the arms together and just taking a moment or two here to breathe. And then go ahead and extend the upper leg and draw yourself back onto your spine here. And then we're going to draw our knees into the chest. And we'll find a little breathing pattern here. So hands on top of knees. And join whenever you get ready. There's no rush. And you're going to inhale and pull the arms out long. And then as you exhale, knees come back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw the knees in. Keep that going. Your next inhale, you're going to relax the legs out long, and then go ahead and take your prop and place it on the opposite side, and then reach the hands above the head, take a big stretch, and then allow yourself to relax in I guess it would be Shavasana. We're just going to lay here for a few moments and just kind of notice any changes in the body. See if anything's talking to us. And if anything needs a little bit more kind of nudging towards relaxation. Start to find a little movement in the feet, awakening the muscles. And then again, we're going to draw the knees into the chest. And go ahead and roll to the right. Drawing the right leg down to the floor, extending it out, and then lengthening the left leg out over your bolster. And then again, you have the option, this side might feel a little bit different, so just make sure that you listen, but you have the option to kind of curl into a little fetal position, or you can open up into a twist. Making yourself as comfortable as you could possibly be. close your eyes and start to allow yourself to drift into stillness. Once again, allowing the expression to soften, perhaps parting the teeth and relaxing the tongue. Addressing any sensations through the upper body, such as the arms, the shoulders, the torso. And then noticing anything happening in the hips or the legs. Making sure we're not gripping the knees and the feet and the toes are relaxed. begin to find a little movement, maybe through the ankle of the extended leg, that's over the bolster, and then adding movement to the other leg. And then rolling both hands over towards one another if you are extended open through the chest. Take a breath or two here. And then start to come on to your back. And draw those knees into the chest. And again, we'll do the breath, which releases the spine. Placing the hands on the knees, taking an inhale and pulling the knees away, lengthening the arms. And then exhaling, drawing the knees back to chest. Keep that up for a few moments. Inhaling and exhaling. And then when you're ready, extend on an inhale, both legs out, and again find that Shavasana for just a couple of moments. And I just invite you, while you're resting in this position, just to do a quick exploration of the body, noticing any signs or signals, good or bad, hopefully good. And settle into stillness. Again, start to find movement in the toes and the ankles, and then maybe reaching up with the hands, rotating the wrist, stretching through the arms, drawing the soles of the feet to the floor. Let's kind of roll to one side, come into a seated position, and we're going to make our way into that supported child's pose. So again, lots of options. If you have a chair that you can scoot up to, you can sit in front of it and just rest your head and arms on top of it. If you do decide, you do choose to do a traditional child's pose, maybe with or without your bolster or thicker pillow, remember, you can always rest a blanket kind of on top of the shins, underneath the thighs. That tends to offer up a little relief. If your ankles are tight, roll up a blanket and put it underneath your ankles. And then find your way into your supported child's pose. And then begin to relax the breath. As you settle in, let those inhales be longer and deeper. And then let the exhale be a little longer. Pulling the belly button towards the spine, really fully relaxing and releasing. Let the breath find the back of the ribs. And perhaps you might feel your shoulder blades shifting to the outer sides of the body as you take a deep inhale. And they soften as you exhale. If you haven't already, for our last few breaths, go ahead and turn to the other cheek. Begin to deepen the breath, finding a little movement in the fingers and the toes. And then when you're ready, putting the palms on the mat and drawing yourself back up into a seated position. as we get ready for our next shape, which is another variation of bridge pose, supported bridge. We've done a few variations, and I don't believe I've done this one before. So for the shoulders, we might want to rest a blanket at the top of the mat. Our torso is going to be resting on top of our thicker pillow or our bolster. And then we're going to support our legs either with another bolster or more pillows, or if you have blocks, you're going to go ahead and set them kind of towards the end of the mat. And you might find you need to adjust a little bit. And then once you get yourself set up here, what I'd like is the shoulder blades to come off of the bolster. So you're going to be kind of leaning down and off. Your neck should feel supported though. Your head's not going to be up like this, like it would be in fish. You're going to relax the head down. The shoulders are going to touch the floor. And then the rest of the body should feel supported with your bolster and your blocks, or maybe even a rolled up blanket at the feet. And then maybe the hands come into goalpost arms or goddess arms. So you may feel a little stretch through the upper spine. And then just find your breath and start to release and relax. Closing the eyes and finding your breath. Offering up some stillness to your body and your mind. And of course, if your thoughts start to come in, just find your breath. Focusing maybe on the tip of the nose or the sound of the breath. You can even do a body scan from the tip of the head and just bit by bit notice the parts of the body that are resting against the floor and your bolster or pillows. With each breath, just move down gradually until you make it all the way to the heels. So if you'd like, you can start to deepen the breath, finding a little bit of movement, and move into your favorite shavasana. Or you can simply stay put, shifting if you need to feel a little bit more comfortable, or you'd like to maybe take a whiff of your essential oil or put a blanket on your body. So for the next few moments, just take this time to really make yourself comfortable, whatever that means. Maybe a rolled up blanket underneath the neck. And perhaps as you settle in, you rest the hands on the belly, or maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And as you start to breathe and relax with your exhales, you also start to feel this connection to yourself as you breathe in and release the breath. And maybe if you're having a particularly hard day today, this is an opportunity to offer up yourself more comfort with this connection. Knowing that this is always a place where you can come back to whenever you're feeling a little sad or alone. You can always come and sit with this gentle touch to remind yourself that you are not alone. You always have this connection. slowly begin to deepen the breath. Begin to find a little movement in the fingers and the toes, perhaps rocking the head gently from side to side. Rolling to one side and resting for a few breaths before you move into a seated posture. Once you have arrived, drawing the hands together in Anjali Mudra, bowing the chin slightly towards the fingertips in gratitude for your practice today. Thank you so much for being here and showing up for yourself and in support of the others that are practicing online today. Namaste.